Hello, sweetheart. Welcome back to Culture Shock and Shufflemancy for Sagittarius season with the music oracles and my iPod video from past life. Okay, so we are going to see what is going on for the collective. I do want to remind everyone my guided healing is up for December. That spread, which is what philosophy are you stuck in that no longer serves you? How is that blocking your luck and abundance? Then we take a look at what new philosophy we can bring in to help push out the old philosophy that no longer serves you. And then some advice on how to bring your luck and abundance up by manifesting your highest vibrational timeline. And then, of course, some oracles. That is available for $55.55 during December. The first 10 people who book get it for a discounted price of $44.44. So if you are interested, please DM me or feel free to reach out via email at SachiTheScorpioServices@gmail.com. So let's see what is going on with the collective today. What's going on with the collective today? I'm hearing like stuff with wood is going on. We have Johnny Cash again, so definitely focused on the masculine today, right? He came out yesterday where the attitude is making the right enemies is as important as making the right friends. So the masculine is still kind of stuck in this energy of, you know, not really believing in this universal love that, you know, we can all be friends. It's like, well, I have to make enemies as well, right? Though, which is not necessarily the truth, right? This is a misconception of the masculine energies right now. And the lifestyle is heaven or hell. It's up to you. So there definitely is this aspect of, you know, understanding how we manifest our own reality. If we are going to bring heaven to earth, well, okay, then we're going to work with higher dimensional beings. We're going to manifest that sort of reality for ourselves. If we want to manifest hell, right, we work with lower vibrational beings. And of course, we are going to manifest that, right? We are powerful creators, able to, you know, jump into any timeline that we want. And it's up to us. And it feels like that's kind of how the masculine is. It's like, I really don't care too much. They're still kind of balancing that. And we have the inspiration, which is darkness is your friend. And again, darkness is very much, you know, the feminine energy. So it looks like the masculine is inspired to try to do their shadow work, try to, you know, befriend the feminine aspect. I hear that the first song wants to come out. I Put a Spell on You by Brian Ferry. 24. So it looks like the masculine is working with spell work. That's how they're using the feminine energy, is kind of doing things more with their mental power, doing things more in the shadows, you know, not necessarily what they are building in the 3D in the masculine energy. They're working more in the darkness of what they're trying to do. It looks like the masculine is really, you know, working on their own spell work of how they are able to do this. I'm hearing that the masculine has put a spell on the feminine even, to kind of believe of like, you know, making enemies is a good idea in some sort of way. And it looks like the feminine bought into that at some point. Because if you remember yesterday, we had Bjork, which is kind of like, all right, I'm going to transmute and take the bad with the good, everything. And that is kind of what is being transformed by the masculine using this sort of energy in their spell work. But I do hear that the feminine is trying to reject it now. We have Arte. Okay. I forgot to play I Put a Spell on You, but I have a feeling that's because we're not inviting that in. What? Okay.
Vortex. If so, do you know your own brain dominant arte scienza, the development of the balance between science and art, logic and imagination, whole brain thinking? Are you familiar with the research into the left and right hemispheres of the cerebral cortex? If so, do you know your own brain dominance profile? In other words, are you a more artistic, intuitive right hemisphere thinker? Or do you feel more comfortable with the step-by-step logic of the left? Seekers of...
Right. So there is, okay, so, you know, in your brain, your left hemisphere is the structure, right? The logic, that is the masculine side. Whereas the right is the feminine, right? The flowy, the artistic. And it's interesting because they cross, right, of how your body works. They're wired on the opposite side to keep us balanced, because the right side of your body is, you know, the masculine, but it's ruled by the left hemisphere brain. And then, of course, the left side is your more feminine, which is ruled by the feminine right side brain. So there very much is this balance, and it looks like the masculine's tapping a little bit more into the kind of artistic sort of flow energy. It does talk a lot about knowing your own, you know, cognitive map, basically, of how you work, how you manifest, right? Do you have a good balance of taking, you know, the logic, which is how to take something that is an art form, something that is the feminine, and bring it into the masculine, into the physical world, how to manipulate your reality, right? How to build it around you, whether you're doing it with your hands or whether you're summoning forces that are doing it for you, right? So it definitely looks like the masculine, again, is really kind of focusing on that. They know how to use this feminine energy right now, and they're doing it, but it's still this battle. So again, we have Johnny Cash, United States, 1932 to 2003. Johnny Cash was part priest and part outlaw in the perennial flight from the hounds of hell. His voice and presence were so big that they made the world seem small, and he possessed the precious gift of being all things to all men. His persona of man in black, champion of the downtrodden, the oppressed, and the incarcerated, was simply the outward manifestation of his own constant struggles with demons and depression. Later, a Latter-day Saint, Latter-day Saint, Cash's own afflictions and tribulations can be viewed as spiritual trials, as he is revered as much for his lifelong quest for redemption as for his music. So again, I'm definitely getting this aspect of the masculine, you know, trying to seek salvation of their soul. But the way that they're doing it is through this, you know, depressed and, you know, struggling with their demons and depression energy, right? Being chased by hellhounds. And you know, the masculine is understanding, like, yeah, I can manifest either one, but it, you know, you have to make the right enemies, where that's not necessarily the case, right? That is one perspective. You can manifest things from only a higher plane of like, hey, everyone is a friend. The whole world is my friend. Nothing is working against me, right? And usually that sort of thinking helps manifest what you truly want. Let's see. Yes, I am a witch. Yoko Ono. Yeah, so there is this aspect of, yes, I am a witch. Like, you have the power. And, like, the masculine, I think, is really waking up to the fact that they have been manifestors of this own reality. You know, even the bad parts. And accepting, like, yeah, I am a witch. You know, I'm a great manifester. And it looks like the only issue is that the masculine is bringing in a little bit too much hell into their life. Okay, so honestly, I'm gonna bring some light in here because the masculine seems like really stuck in this kind of hellfire. And I'm hearing like the feminine is like, yeah, I'm a witch, I'm a bitch, like I don't care what you say. And it seems like that is kind of how the masculine has kind of like, all right, well, right, some are enemies, some are friends. Let's see, what advice can we get? We have protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Yeah, the masculine is really being asked to protect their energy. I mean, everybody, right? Everyone's masculine energy is being asked to be protected. Look what's there. It's the eclipse. And we have the eclipse in Gemini, the full moon, and now we're going to the solar eclipse that is going to be happening on the 14th of December. It is really time to do a protection spell, right? Like, spell work is not a good idea, you know, to do on eclipses sometimes unless you are cord cutting, right? Like, but not in a way of like, you know, F that person. It's more like I'm calling back all my power, cutting the cords to everything so that I'm only accessing my highest vibrational timeline. That is what you want to be doing. So this is a soul retrieval where, you know, you are calling back your soul. part of your soul does not need to be trapped in hell. You do not need to be stuck in suffering. And the masculine energy in us all has tricked us through witchcraft from like fathers before us. Okay, and it does not have to be that way. I'm getting one more song. Rock Her Hips remix. Young Dro, Crime Mob, Geeked Up Music. Yeah, this especially pertains, I've been getting a lot of energy of the way that the masculine has been using the feminine in a sexual way of, you know, because they have no, right? You can't have creative potential without the feminine, and the masculine has seemed to get a little bit jealous of that, where, you know, a lot of crime has happened when it comes to robbing spiritual potential from the feminine. And I don't mean male presenting bodies. I mean everybody with their masculine energy taking from the feminine. So whew, little extra energy to think about. Definitely do a protection. I may offer services of a cord cutting ceremony because I'm actually already doing that for myself and for someone else. So yeah, look out for that if you are in need of, you know, someone to help you cut the cords if you don't have the energy to do it yourself. So collective, I'm sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.